I think I've had this thing like 3 weeks, maybe a month. I don't know. I've had this Victrix Pro KO. I think I want to start with that one. Let's start by showing you guys the Victrix Pro KO. Leverless fight stick. I hate the word leverless. Like I said, I call these all button controllers or button boxes. That's just me. It's a really nice controller, super slim, nice angled wrist slope for ergonomics if you actually put your wrists on it, which I do. I know some people don't. A really nice detachable cable solution. I have the cable over here, RGB LEDs around the buttons that are addressable, and an easy way to open it up with these 4 prongs to change out the button layout, which you see I've already done. I skipped a button here and I moved it over here. Now my layout's a little wider. I really like this controller, right? I got it, like I said, for a steal of $120. Been in ad for a minute. You have ads right on my channel. That's how I make money. So this controller is probably my favorite attempt of learning leverless. I've used the traditional hitbox. I've used I think it was an all fight sticks, all button controller. I've used a mix box of some kind and a Hot 42, right? So I've used a few, but I've never really pushed myself away from arcade stick to main a controller more than this controller because of the modularity of it and the sleekness of it. This feels like a professional grade product with amazing build quality, craftsmanship, and a modular design that levels up with you as a player. If you only want 12 buttons, you only get 12 buttons. If you're ready for 16 buttons, you can do that. If you want 13 buttons, 14 buttons, 15 buttons, you can do that. And the buttons aren't just sitting there waiting around for you to use them or turn them off. You can take them out as you go. Now, I want to talk about some other controllers that are pretty similar that I either will recommend or won't recommend, but I haven't had the chance to personally try myself. As we know, we're talking about the Victrix Pro KO. So the Razer Kitsune is about the same price, if not a little more expensive. It's $299.99. The PS4 version, the PS5 version of this controller also has the touchpad. I don't have a touchpad because I have an Xbox version. I don't play on PlayStation 5, so it doesn't matter. The PlayStation version of this has the touchpad. It has the 12-button standard layout, and it's non-modular. Also has RGB LEDs, but not around the buttons. It's on the sides instead. Very classy looking. I like this controller in theory. I love looking at it. I think it feels nice in the hands as well. But for $300, you're losing modularity. You're not getting modularity. And you're not getting the extra features of, what are they called? Replaceable switches, right? Maybe there are switches that are, they're low profile optical linear switches. But they're not easily hot swappable, and this comes with the tool for it, right? For $50 more, I don't recommend the Razer Kitsune unless you find it on a deep discount. I don't think this controller is worth it. It also has the same detachable cable solution, USB-C-A to USB-C or USB-C to USB-C. Once again, I just don't recommend it only because of that fact that it's not modular. It's $50 more. So you're losing stuff. Yeah, another $30 to put a hot Chinese waifu on your stick, $329.99. $330 to put a Chinese hottie, a Chinese almost MILF on your stick, totally not worth the price. I do love this artwork, but once again, not worth the price. Once again, still losing the modularity. I think it's not worth it. Now, an interesting controller to talk about in comparison to the Victrix Pro KO all-button controller, leverless, button box, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is the Hori Nova. Now, this is not out in America yet. I don't think it's out at all, but it's on pre-order currently. It comes out June 6th, so the day after the Nintendo Switch 2. Fuck, I'm really going to be poor. Holy crap. Comes out the day after the Nintendo Switch 2. It's about $120 US. I believe this is euros, right? I'm bad at other currencies. The only currency that matters to me is American dollar reduce, right? So if you're not using American dollar reduce, I'm not worried about it. It's got this interesting solution on the bottom right here for like some sort of a hook, a strap that you can put around yourself, and then it's got the same solution for the cable, for the detachable USB-C. So that's really nice. I'm going to go ahead and just dismiss this. On the front, you see it looks relatively similar. It has a bigger start button, also using the same kind of low-profile switches, and then it has all of the extra buttons. But wait, you can take them out, and there is official covers for those extra buttons you can take out, which I think is very good. Now, at this price, $120, this is an interesting alternative to something like the Victrix Pro KO. Now, something to think about is that the Victrix Pro KO has the headphone jack on the left side, and this has the headphone jack on the right side. I don't know how much that matters. Depends on where your setup is, and if your computer or PS4, PS5 is to the left or right of you. But that's really the only major difference. I think if you're looking for a controller that functions the same way, but you don't want a non-first party licensed controller or a non-licensed controller, if you're not looking at HOTS and things like that, I would say wait for the Hori Nova over even getting the Victrix. I really like this thing. I think this thing is sick, but I also trust Hori a lot. Hori and Victrix are the arcade controller manufacturers I've used the most and trust the most. I wish I could say I trust Combo, but they got really lazy because Combo used to be like the de facto best arcade controller and arcade stick manufacturer during the PS4 generation. So they just kind of got lazy and reiterated in an awful way, not like the Nintendo Switch 2, unfortunately. Why the fuck is the Combo Obsidian 2 $320? That shit is insane. So I think that this is an interesting controller to look at in comparison. If you want one now and need one now, or you need an Xbox variant, I would say go with this, right? Especially because you still get the RGB. You get one extra feature for the price. It's a lot of extra fucking price in the RGB LEDs, and you get a nice little carry bag with this. It's really cool. It like slides right over its little sheet. You just put it in your backpack. It keeps this thing from getting all scuffed up, scratched up, and damaged. I really like it. I use it all the time. Or wait for the Nova, which in its own right looks like it's going to be a great controller. I hope I can get my hands on one. If Hori would send me one, like if I could email Hori and they'd send me one to review, I'd absolutely do it. But if they don't, I'll just have to wait until I have the money to personally purchase it, because I do want to try this controller and talk about it on stream and give it a shot, especially now that I know more about leverless. I know more about all button, so it won't feel so awkward trying to learn it and also review it at the same time. This has more been a comparison than a review. I did the review part at the very beginning of this. Like I said, for $250, I think this is the best all button controller on the market currently. Without looking at the Nova, I think this is better than Kitsune. If you're looking for something licensed, don't get a HOT. If you're looking for something modular, don't get a HOT, get this. I think this is the best bang for your buck controller. It's even relatively similar price to some of the snack box controllers and that Swole that's coming out from Junk Food Arcades, or I think it's Paradise Arcade. This controller, very good, very sleek, ergonomic, easy to modify, and has RGB for those people who really give a fuck about lights. I like pretty lights. Pretty lights are cool. I usually leave them green, but I really like pretty lights. And I've been slowly learning all button controllers / levelers because of this controller. That is how good this controller feels. It's made me want to step away from arcade stick and learn leverless / all button. So that's been my little short review / comparison of the other all button controllers that are licensed / first party in comparison to the Victrix Pro KO. I like this arcade controller a lot, and I hope my insight has been helpful in some way. Like the video if so, subscribe to the channel, and of course you guys know I'm a big fan of talking about arcade controllers, so maybe we'll see you guys back with like in 2025 other combo stick reviews, since they're a little cheaper now, and now we can look at them as stopgap solutions for bigger or better arcade sticks. Or maybe we'll look at the Hori Nova next time you guys see me for a controller review. Anyways, this has been Beanie Thuggish for the YouTubes, talking about the Victrix Pro KO leverless fight stick, loving it, and signing out. Peace.